right? Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Halayim Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim HaRachat Nadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone who taught us the truth. Honors and salutations to the elect and to the men that died doing the work. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, because they shall arise first. To the men, women, and children that believe on the true name of the Father and the Son, which the Father's name is Yahweh, he exists. The Son's name is Yahweh Shai, he is the deliverer. Because he's come to deliver us from this captivity that we're in. All right, it's Church of Philadelphia, once again, back with another one. Hey, Shalom, bro. Yahweh Shemel Shabbat Shabbat Chakadas Brakatah. Once again, man, coming back at you with another one. You know, and as I labeled it, is called Don't Quit, man. And I got that. I'm gonna show you right here. I got it from this. All right, which is a quote. Okay, which touching on the topic of the brother that fell out, and a lot of other brothers that fall out. Just don't quit, man. You can't quit. When it comes to this truth, you cannot quit. You put your hand to the plow, you can't turn back. Once you start doing something, you can't stop. Because if you stop, you're a quitter, man. It never was in you, basically. All right, so I'm gonna read this real fast, and we're gonna hop into the scriptures. But it says, "Don't quit when things go wrong, as they sometimes will. When the road you're trudging seems all uphill. When the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh. When care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns, and many a failure turns about. With he a sloppy, when he might have won, he stuck it out. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. All right. It says success is failure turned inside out. The silver tint of the clouds of doubt, and you never can tell how close you are. All right, it says you never can tell how close you are. So you think, yo, our salvation is nearer than we believe. All right, it says, so stick it out. So stick to the fight when your heart is hit. When your heart is hit, it's when things seem worse that you must not quit. All right, so when things seem to be the worst, you can't quit. It's like when you fast. When you fast, you come into an end of a fast. Things get harder. It seems like, yo, you could not eat all day. You like, yo, I'm cool, I'm cool, cool. When it's coming to the end of it, you like, God damn. All of a sudden you're hungry because you gotta finish it, man. All right, and which is true. A lot of dudes don't count the cost, man. All right, now I'm speaking on the topic. I'm not going to mention the brother's name because his name already been mentioned, throughout Israel, and brothers are aware who he is. He fell out. I know. I'm going to say I spoke to him, did a video with him. And the brother, like, now all of a sudden you back, man. You can't just pick up put your hands on the plow and turn back. All right. So the first scripture I'm going to bring out. Let's go here to Amos chapter 9 and 9. The book of Amos chapter 9 verse 9. It says, for lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in the seed. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. So the Lord, He's going to sift us throughout all. Like we've been scattered on all four corners of the earth. All right, and that's why, like Jeremiah, he was heavy on that. He was like, learn not the way of the heathen, or choose none of his ways. So when you come into this thing, you know that you're scattered among all nations, man. All right, but you can't learn their customs and traditions and none of that. All right, you gotta keep stick with your doctrine, stick with the truth, because that's what makes a man. What makes a man is somebody that stands for something. That doesn't fall for everything. All right, so you gotta stand for this truth. You gotta stay for that. You don't waver. You don't do none of that, as the scriptures tell you. Just like our forefathers, they never fell. They never gave up. They kept going. They kept pushing. All right, and that's what we have to do now. You gotta keep pushing. You know, you got leisure time. You study. You do videos. Whatever you gotta do, man. All right. You know, like ask the Lord for guidance, man. Ask the Lord for understanding. Ask the Lord for wisdom. Ask the Lord for patience. Whatever you ask, He's going to give it to you, righteously so. You know. But if you ask for like bull crap that's here in this world, you might get it. You know, but it's not going to prevail. You want to ask for things that's everlasting, man. And a lot of dudes, they don't count the cost when they come into this thing, man. They just want to be. They come out gung ho, you know. They'll learn the scriptures and this that. Go out there 3-4 times a week, trying to be seen among men, you know, and then they fall right out. Because what are they doing? They're burning a candle, man, from both sides. When you burn a candle from both sides, it's going to burn out, man. You have to trim your wick, all right? You got to trim your wick and burn slowly, man. The race is not for the swift. All right, I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, let's go right here to Luke chapter 14. It's the book of Luke chapter 14. And I've seen this so many times since I've been in the truth, man. Brothers come in, they be on fire. They're like fire drippers. False alarm, man. Coming on fire, then your fire gets put right out real fast. All right, so this is Luke chapter 14. We're going to start at verse 28, which reads, on this the words of Yahushua. It says, for which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient time, whether he have sufficient to finish it. All right, so coming in this truth. When you come, you know, you gotta like look at other brothers, you hear stories, because you watch videos, man. And you see testimonies of brothers. You just look at the scriptures. You know, you gotta see like, damn, am I built for this? Can I really continue with this word? All right. So you gotta count the cost. If you don't count this cost, you lost. All right. If you don't count the cost, you're lost. All right. And the Lord's going to just spew you out of His mouth. All right. That's for being lukewarm. But coming in and then just leave it like that. Listen, man. There's no good things going to happen to you. All right. So let's go back to Luke chapter 14, 28. It says, for which of you intending to build a tower? So what are we doing? We're building the house of David. Malak the wide, right? We're building the house of David, right? That's the tower that we're building. So you got to count the cost of everything that's to come with it, man. All the anguish, all the headache, all the whatever comes with it, man. You know, when you do a project, you gotta always think about, well, if I do this, what's going to happen here? This and that. You can't quit. So when you start something, you have to finish it all the way through. All right, you gotta know that you're gonna have family turn on you. You know, your woman, your children. You know, a lot of things are going to turn on you. But at the end of the day, you still got to keep it pushing. All right, it says, which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it? Least happily, after he had laid the foundation, and it is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him. So you gotta when you build something, you have to have a strong foundation. If you don't have a strong foundation, you build a foundation and you just stop building, What was the point of putting a foundation? What was the point of trusting in that foundation? You know, what was the point of trusting in that? That makes no sense. All right. So when what's our foundation here in this truth, man? Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Hashem HaRachak. That's your foundation. All right. That's what it's intended. That's your backbone. All right. Because Yahweh Shai is what to deliver. And he's coming to deliver us out of his captivity. All right. So it says, these haply, back in Luke chapter 14 and 29, it says, these haply, after he hath laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock. So once you start building something and you can't finish it, everybody that's around you going to laugh at you. They're like, look at this dude. He thought he was this, he thought he was that. You know? So when you come into this truth, you have to, that's why I say you gotta count the cost, man. You know, because like you'll get scoffed at, laughed at. All right, and that's what you don't want. That's why Yahweh Shai, what did he do? He continued, man. He finished his course. All right, and that's our example. He's the chief cornerstone. All right, the chief cornerstone, and that's what we're supposed to pride ourselves at. All right, that's who we're supposed to pride ourselves at. Salat. All right, it says, saying this man began to build and was not able to finish. Or what king going to make war against another king sitteth down first and consulteth whether he be able with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000. All right, so you gotta really think about that. You know, so when you come into this thing, you gotta make sure that you ready to go to war, man. You ready to go to battle. But if you got 10,000 men, you trying to go against 20,000. It says the odds that's not even. That's not even, man. The odds are against you. But the Lord does what He wants to do. But like, you really have to sit down and think about it. A wise man would think about that. Like, all right, I'm the king. We about to go to war with these people. We got this because we got to count the casualties and everything like that. So if the odds are stacking up against you, you can't go to war, man. And that's what a lot of men do when they come into this truth. They think they see another man, they don't know his war scars or whatever the man's been through, and things like that. But so they just sit back and they think that they're them, but then they end up being one of the casualties. So when it comes to this this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you have to count the cost. At anything you do, you have to count the cost, and that's wise. Some dudes come in, like I said, man, they come in blazing hot, real quick, like a brush fire, man. When you burn something, truce, and it burns right out real fast. That's how a lot of dudes do, man. This is another case of that. With this guy with Fish to Turn Hunter, man. But anyway, it says, going back to verse 31, it says, or what king going to make war against another king sitteth not down first and consulteth whether he be able with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000, or else while the other is yet a great way off, he sendeth in ambassadors and desire conditions of peace. So likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he had, he cannot be my disciple. All right, so it's like what's Lot's wife, man. What did she do? When the Lord made a way for them to escape, all right, He made a way for them to escape. She turned back, and that's what this is Yahweh Shai's word. So He's like, man. If you can't forsake everything that you had when you came into this thing, you can't get rid of all that, and you want to turn back to it. It's like a dog returning to his vomit. You're not fit to rule in the kingdom, and you're not going to rule the kingdom. You're just an average citizen. When it comes to this thing, you have to think like a king, man, because that's who we are. We're royal people. You can't think like an average Joe, man. You know, an average citizen. You know, you think like an average citizen, that's what you want to be. All right, this is about royalty. It's about your salvation. And royalty here, because yo, guess what? When they brought us over here, they took kings, man. They took prophets. You know, they took men of valor, man. You know, they took men like that. And to this day, they're still over here. That's why at this point in time, the salvation is going to be the greatest that you've ever seen. Because there's so many men that's back on this earth in the same time period. All right, and that's the Lord's way of showing off to these other nations. Like, yo, you could never have my people, man. You know, I lend them to you. I'm a man of my word, and I said that. So now I'm taking them away, but I'm gonna take them away in such a great way that has never been written of before, and it's always going to be spoken of for eternity. And you people are going to understand, you know. So going back in Luke chapter 14 and 33, it says, so likewise, whoso, so kind of, you know, that, brother. That's one of the scriptures I got lined up, brother. You know, but it says, back in Luke chapter 14:33, it says, so likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he had, he cannot be my disciple. Salt is good, but if the salt have lost its savior, wherewith shall it be seasoned? You know, so like you season your food, you know, like Jake, they like to put salt and everything on things, and the reason why you put salt in it because it makes it taste a little better. So if the salt loses its savor, how's it going to season things? And that's like brothers that follow this truth. They follow the word. They was on fire. They was that salt, man. You know, they seasoning everything up and all that. Then they lose their flavor. So it's like, damn, what was the purpose of even being put on the food? Now you and like men, like you have men that is brought into this thing to wake other men up, and then they're taken out. You know, they're taking that poured right out of this thing for whatever reason that the Lord has, but you have to count the cost. All right, it says verse 35. It is neither fit for the land, nor yet for the dunghill, but men cast it out. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear, man. So the Lord is coming at you like, yo, man, you're not even fit. Like, yo, it's like you're eating food, you shit it out, it wasn't even good. Like, what was the purpose of it? You know, it says, it is neither fit for the land, nor yet for the dunghill. So it ain't shit, man. You know, you coming into this thing, breezing through and falling out, you ain't worth shit. You's a bitch ass nigga, man. At the end of the day, you's a bitch ass nigga. And that's what you're trying to avoid being, man. Alright? So let's go here. Let's go to Matthew chapter 25. We'll start at verse slide. Matthew chapter 25, we're going to start at verse 1. Take it from the top. Alright? This is Matthew chapter 25, verse 1. It says, then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. All right, so that's like, yo, when you come into this thing, is about the oil, man. All right, so you have to be wise. So you got to know when to pour the oil on your wick so to keep burning, because it has to burn for a minute. That's why it says the race is not for the swift. All right, so like I said, you got dudes that come into this thing, they pour oil into it, and they burn out real quick. Now, when Yahweh comes back, they're going to be like, oh, yo, let me borrow some of your oil. but it's not going to happen like that. All right, you're not going to get another brother's oil, man. All right, because we always measure a certain amount of oil to burn. All right, but check it out. Let's read it. It says, "But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps." See that? The wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. But it says, "While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out to meet him." All right, so that's why you go into Habakkuk. It says, "For the vision is yet for a appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it." All right, so it seems like right now the bridegroom, which is the outer side. All right, he's coming to he's coming to bring us back to Yahweh. All right, so the bride, actually that's sloppy. I would say the bride, yeah, the bridegroom Yahweh side. So he's coming to bring us back to Yahweh side. I mean to Yahweh. All right, to be married to him. All right, because he's what, the mediator. Okay, so now when it's coming, it's like, yo, he's here. So you have to be prepared, like a wife going to into a marriage situation. She has to be prepared to meet her husband. She has to be a virgin first of all. All right, because you got here, you can just be a whore, sleep with this man, that man, this man, and then go marry. That's way out of order, man. All right, and being a virgin here and spiritually, you can't serve all these other gods. Now you know that we was brought up in you got Christians that come into the truth. You got Muslims. You know, you got all these different religions and everything. But when you come into the truth and you know that this is Yahweh Ba'ashem outside, Ba'ashem Chakodas, you don't turn your back on that. You can't, all right, because you're not fit if you do that. All right, it says, while the bridegroom tarried, verse 5, Matthew chapter 25, verse 5, it says, "While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight," so midnight is what? That's a new day, man, because that's when the Lord comes back. All right, because what? They say the doomsday clock and it's ticking. So we're at the end of Esau's day. Like when you think about it, right? You go to sleep like today is what? Let's see what date it is. This is September 13th, right? It's 7 o'clock. All right, so September 13th, 7 o'clock. So at 11:59, it's still the 13th. Once it hits 12 o'clock, that would be the 14th. So that's a new day. All right. So the day of Esau is coming to an end, and our day is coming. So check. That's why it says, "And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out to meet him." So that's when the Lord is going to come back in a new day. It says, "Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out." Because they lost the flavor, man. You know, they lost their way basically. At one point in time, they believed in the doctrine, then they hopped out of the doctrine. You know, and this is though the race is not for the swift, man. All right, that's what brothers gotta understand. You know, it's just we're running a marathon. You have to pace yourself. You know, the apostles they paced themselves. You know, and it's the end. So now they're going hard, man. And they've been around before some of you niggas was born, man. You know, on the highways and hedges. And you got men that come and think that they're on the same level as them. And that's why they fall out. You know, because men just look at brothers that do this work. They look at them as average dudes, man. You can't look at a man like that. Because when you come into this truth, man, you're not an average guy, man. All right, but the Lord has it set up on different levels. Okay? And everybody's on a level, man. Spiritually. And that's righteous. That's why you got your elect, you have your 1/3, you have your 2/3. It's levels, man. And that's the way the Lord set it up. All right. So verse 7, it says, "Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps, and the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your lamp, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so." And that's what you're supposed to. Nah, dog, like You was given the same amount of oil I was given when you came into this thing. I was just wise with mine. You was foolish with yours. So why would I give you some of my oil down and you burn through yours? All right, the Lord messes it out, man. Years and years, and yo, when you think about it, one day, and one day to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Arachakodas, is 1,000 years. So these years here is just seconds. So you going to burn through your oil in seconds, and now you want another man's oil when Yahweh Shai comes back? It's not going down like that. It says, but the wise answered, saying, not so. Least there be not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. So that showed the elect being beamed up, into the chariots, and the doors are shut, and everything's going to happen the way it's going to happen, the way it's written in the scriptures. Because while you've been taught this, you read it each and every day, man. You hear brothers speaking about it, so it's no excuse for nobody. When you turn your back on the Lord, you're going to get everything you're asking for, man. And when you praise Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Arachakodas, you're going to get the same thing. All right, that's why it will behoove you not to quit. Cause even if you quit, your face is already out there. You got these FBI agents and all that stuff. They already got your face. They got your names, all that shit. So hey man, they still want to come at you like, nigga, you was out there teaching. You was doing this. You was doing that. So what you gonna be like? Oh nah, man. I don't really believe. They still want to come at you, man. All right. So you gotta understand those things, man. So let's go ahead, man. We're going to go into Ecclesiastes, Sirach, chapter 9. All right, and this is what I was saying, like, the race is not for the swift. So, like, people, they like to run through their oil, burn through it real fast, and now they want to, it's like a nigga that's a glutton. He eats all his food, and you still eating your food at your pace, however you eat it. And now they want to eat off of your plate. Nah, man, you already ate yours. Like a woman, that's what a woman does. You go out to eat with a woman, you order your food, she orders hers, whatever, and she's looking at your plate, so she want to eat off your. No, you can't do that, man. Eat your own. Eat what's sufficient for you. All right? Eat what's sufficient for yourself. All right, so this is Sirach chapter 9 and verse 11. Ecclesiastes. All right. What scripture was that, brother? Let's read that real fast. This is Ezekiel chapter 18. Matter of fact, I'm going to grab it. It's Ezekiel chapter 18 and 24. All right. I got a couple other scriptures lined up. Got this first, Ezekiel chapter 18 and verse 24. This is Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 24. It says, but when the righteous turneth away from his righteousness and committeth iniquity, and doeth according to all the abominations that the wicked man doeth, shall he live? All his righteousness hath he slackened. All his righteousness that he had done shall not be mentioned. So like you go out and like, I don't want to mention brothers' names, but I know brothers need to teach with. They was out here, so everything that they did when they was on the highways and hedges, they went back into the world. Your name is blotted out of the book of life, man. All right. First and foremost, it never was written in there. All right. You was a extra in this movie. All right. You was just a sidekick in the movie. You came and you left. It's all about the elect. All right. And that's what the apostles tell you. It's all about the elect, and that's it. You got men, they don't like behind closed doors, they just being niggas, man. They're not praying, they're not fasting, they're not talking to the Lord, you know? It's just a hop on camera, yeah, look at me, look. Then you gone. Nah, man, it ain't about that. All right, this is about Yahweh Hashem outside by Hashem Arakakodas and your salvation. And if you don't take this salvation serious, you're not a man of the Lord. And furthermore, the Most High is going to smoke you, man. And yo, the water for this precept too, brother. But this is Ezekiel chapter 18, starting at verse 24 again. It says, but when the righteous turneth away from his righteousness and committeth iniquity, and doeth according to all the abominations that the wicked man doeth, shall he live? Because you know what? Sin is death. The wages of sin is death, man. So if you turn back, like I said, like a dog return to his vomit, all right, you're going to get the same punishment because you're going to get death, man. All right, because you started trying to be righteous, living for the Lord, Yahweh Shem outside, by Shema Chaladas, you turned your back on it. All right, that's why we're in this predicament that we're in. It says, all his righteousness that he had done shall not be mentioned. In his trespass that he had trespassed, and in his sin that he had sinned, and in them shall he die, man. Shall he die? So, yo, the wages of sin, like I said, the wages of sin is what? Death. So everything that you do, you know, you come into this truth and you turn your back on the Lord, yo, man. If you don't take this thing seriously, you're going to die. That's the bottom line. All right, you want to live. All right, and no, let's say the last enemy to be conquered is what? Death, man. And that's what we out here trying to do. We're trying to conquer death. How do you conquer death? By living, man. How do you live? Following the laws, statutes, and commandments. To the best of your ability, serving Yahweh Hashem outside. By Shema Rakakodas. That's the best way to do it. That's the only way to do it. All right? So let's let me find the scripture real fast. We're going to go to Ecclesiastes. All right? Ecclesiastes chapter 9. Yo, 9:11. How about that? Verse 9 and verse 11. Which what? 9:11 was what? A couple days ago. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 11. It says, I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all, man. So, yo, that's heavy. Let's read that again. I returned and saw unto the sun that the race is not for the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet the bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time, chance happeneth to all. So, yo, when you come into this thing, it says, basically it says, time will reveal all things. If you're like a man of surveillance or something, right? You sit back and you watch some things. And like if you observe a lot of things, you're going to see things fall, right? You're going to see things for what it really is, man. Just being an observer of things, man. You observe like, damn, you watch this dude for, that's what the FBI does, man. And dudes like that, you know, that's all they do. CIA, niggas like that, they want to sit back and surveil things and see how they can weasel their way in. Because they look for your weakness. So if you watch something for so long, you'll see their weakness, and now you can be like, oh, he's weak here. Well, let me throw this out. Let me do this. Let me do that. You know? And like, yo, because if you like this says, man, you know, just being like under the sun, everything under the sun, man, you see. So you watch, observe. In time, man, in time it will reveal things. That's why it will behoove you to just serve the Lord. Because at the end of the day, time is going to be the wearing out of a lot of things here. It's how you, like I said, it says the race is not for the swift. So if you're trying to jump into this thing real quick, like the story of the hare and the tortoise, the hare was more faster. He was more equipped than the turtle to win a race. The turtle was just moving, boom, 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 moving to the point where the hare got so fast, the fucking rabbit got so fast ahead of the turtle. He lamped on the tree. He lamped on the tree, fell asleep. While he was sleeping, what happened? The turtle passed his ass and crossed the finish line. But when the hare woke up, he was like, oh snap, I'm full of shit. He tried to run across the finish line, the race was already over. So the race is not for the swift, man. You know, you learn at your pace. First of all, you care about Yahweh Shem outside, man. By Shema Rachakadas. All right. If you don't care about him, the race is already over, man. You just doing things from him. All right. You don't gotta know every scripture. You don't gotta be the best reader. You don't gotta be the best. No, you just give whatever the Lord gave you. You be the best of what the Lord gave you. All right. And the Lord gives everybody different talents, right? All right. That's why it's a body. You know, everybody has every function in the body. Every organ in the body has a different function. You know. And not saying don't learn and nothing like that. Yeah, you're supposed to learn as much as you can. You try to you do to the best of your ability and make sure that's what you do, man. All right. Every man can't be like the next man. You never envy a man for what he knows or anything like that. You praise a man, yo. You know this, oh yo, bro, that's what's up. You learn from him, man. You know, and that's what makes a body function. All right. And now let's go here to Matthew 22, what the brother brought out earlier. I said I was jumping the gun. No, this is Matthew chapter 22. And oh yeah, 14. Matthew chapter 22, verse 14, it says, for many are called, but few are chosen. And yo, you gotta think about that. It says, many are called, but few are chosen. And what does that mean? Look at all the camps around. Look at how many brothers, look at you coming into the truth. You were called. All right? You were called. Are you a chosen people? Yes, you are a chosen people. Your whole nation. But out of the chosen nation, it's the chosen of the chosen nation. And that's the elect. All right? So you all are called. Yes, you are. That's why it says make your diligence to the election sure, man. All right? You have to make sure, man. You got to, everything that you do is supposed to be about Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Arachakodas. That's as plain as I can put it, man. All right? Everything that you do. You're supposed to eat, sleep, breathe, think Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, because he is the one that created you, man. All right? All this stuff that you have and see in front of you is going to perish, man. You know, so nothing else makes sense. Nothing else is even worthy of anything, man. You know? So I'm going to read that again. Matthew chapter 22 and 14. It says, for many are called, but few are chosen. Let that sink in. Think about the sand on the sea. All right? 144,000 pieces of sand, one grain. Think about how small a grain of sand is, man. And yo, even you can multiply that because you got the elect. That's the elect. And that's a specific number. 144,000. That's how specific the Lord is. All right. But then it says, and multitudes. But that's an even greater number. All right. So you think about that and just look at the sand on the sea. And yo, just pick out 144 pieces of sand. Grains. Grains. Look how small they are. That makes a body. All right. And then you can pick out how much, you can grab a whole handful of sand to be the 1/3, man. You know, at the end of the day, you still have all that other sand that's out there that the Lord said that's our people is going to perish, man. 2/3, that's a great number, man. You know, that's a great ass number. All right, so you know that's why, and honestly, that should humble you even more. You know, that should humble you even more. To be like, yo, Lord, you know what, man? You just want to do the right thing. All right. So let's go to Matthew. Well, we're going to stay in Matthew. We're going to jump to the first chapter. All right. Matthew 1, we're going to jump to verse 24. Okay. This is Matthew 1 and 24. No, Salaki. Salaki. I'm messing up. Forgive me. That's not what I'm looking for. Give me a second. Come, Salaki. 7. Forgive me. This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 24. It says, therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. All right. So when you come into this this word, your foundation, what's that rock? That rock is your house. All right, and that's your foundation. You have to count the cars. You have to you have to like basically you gotta build your house on a firm rock. Yo, all right. Even putting it to like nowadays terms, when you go to the Three Little Pigs, right? And they was talking about different foundations, how they built their houses. All right, the one built the house with straw. The wolf came. The one built this house, and I forgot what it was. But I just remember the one that built this house with the bricks. He's like, little pig, let me in. Not by the hairs of my chinny chin chin. He's like, I'll huff, I will puff, and I will blow your house in. And yo, that's all Esau's doing. They trying to huff and puff to blow you down because they that fucking wolf right now, man. You know, and they want to try to destroy your foundation. You know, even going into the scripture when it talks about the seeds that were thrown, they were all thrown on different foundations, right? You know, so your foundation has to be Abba Bashem outside by Shemar Chabadas, and that's a righteous foundation. That's a sturdy foundation, man. That's a foundation that cannot, that anything in this world cannot overthrow that, man. And you have to know that, man. All right, you have to know that. You have to understand that, and that's why dudes come in, they fall out because why? They're not built on a solid foundation. They just look at it as men being men. No, this is a spiritual thing. You don't even know what a man goes through in his life. All you do is see his face, you hear what he's saying, and he's talking about the Lord. But as far as like what he's personally going through, you don't know that, man. Unless you're in that man's life. Or you know him personally and everything like that, man. That's why everything, though, it says in the book of Second Ezra, chapter 16. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 70. Let's say 74, I believe. Matter of fact, the Second Ezra chapter 16, start at verse 7. It says, "For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear Yahweh sitting outside. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear Yahweh sitting outside. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold is tried slack, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire." So that's talking about what? The elect. They're going to be tried as gold in the fire. All right, and that's when you're going to know. All right, it says, verse 74, it says, Hear, O ye my beloved, saith Yahweh Shem Yahushua, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. All right, and that's talking about what? The elect. The days of a trouble are at hand. You're seeing it. You know, so the men that fell out, they wasn't even built for this, man. But the days of trouble is at hand, like it's like the song I just listened to from Busta Rhymes. Bandit shit. You niggas talk shit, then you abandon shit. All right, you come out here speaking the truth. Once times get too hard for you, you jump off the ship. because you see your ship of your life sinking. You're not fit to be a man of the Lord. When that ship sinks, you're supposed to know. It's like with Peter when he hopped out the ship when he saw Yahweh walking on the water. Peter hopped out because he saw Yahweh. He didn't think about nothing else but Yahweh. Yo, Yahweh, and he started walking and doing the things, right? The same thing Yahweh was doing. Then once he seen what he was, he's like, oh shit, I'm walking on water. Then he started sinking because he took his eyes off of Yahweh, man. You know, he took his eyes off him. That's why you can't never take your eyes off Yahweh, because once you do that, you start to sink. But if you're a man in the Lord, that's why he called out. He called out for Yahweh, and Yahweh's name means what? He is the deliverer. He is the savior. All right. So Yahweh reached his hand down and pulled him right back up. A just man falls 7 times and pick himself back up. You know, you fall, you call out to Yahweh. That's what you do. You call out to the Lord, and you better call with all your might, man. You know, because this is a scary thing, and this is serious, man. This is nothing to play with. This is about your life, and I can't even stress that no more than that, man. This is about your life. All right, when these damn devils come, they come with the thunder, man, and they ain't playing. You know, but you can't fear that. Fuck them. You know, but just know that they're coming. That's why it behooves you to serve Yahweh outside. You know. All right, so let's go on. 1 Corinthians. We'll hop to there real fast. The Lord's willing, I hope I'm not rambling, man. I hope it's edifying. All right. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3. We're going to start at verse 13. All right. It says, and not as Moses, which put a veil over his face, that the children of Israel could not steadfastly look to the end of that which is abolished, but their minds were blinded. For unto this day remaineth the same veil untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament, which veil is done away in Hamashiach. But even unto this day, when Moses is read, the veil upon their heart. All right. So the same veil that's on you niggas' faces now, like you come into this thing, you're fast, man. You know, you got some dudes that just watch videos, right? They watch videos. They think that, and I seen that happen, man. I seen dudes that watch videos, and all of a sudden they're elder. They get the highways. They get dudes a following. They get this great following. They're elders. All these big titles. Whatever you want, man, you want to get, man. You know, and that's a veil over your eyes, man, because you can't understand it. Like the Christian church, right? What they do, the Old Testament is done away with. It's not done away with, man. Yahweh came to fulfill, all right, not to destroy it. Not one jot or one tittle shall be done away with, man. You know? And you got men that come in, they learn from all these different guys, man. Learn different philosophies, man. You got to listen to the apostles of Great Millstone, man. All right? Because their doctrine is the doctrine of Yahweh Shem outside, by Shema Rachakodas, and it has tested the ways of time. All right? It's been tested. Okay? You can't turn you can't turn a blind eye to them. All right? So let's go to Salaki. I know I zoned out for a second. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 28. Isaiah 28, 16. Isaiah. This is Isaiah chapter 28, verse 16. And it reads, it says, therefore thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the Most High Power, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a peculiar cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not hate, shall not make haste. All right, and that's what I was talking about a little earlier. That stone is Yahweh Shai, your cornerstone, a tried stone. Because what Yahweh Shai went through everything in his when he was walking this earth, he went through everything that we're going to ever have to go through here. He prevailed. He overcame it. All right, he prevailed. He overcame it. He's a tried stone, and that's what we want to be. If you're a part of the elect, you're going to be tried, because you have to see. The Lord wants to see if you're fit to rule in the kingdom in every situation that you go through. Some, like, we're in the flesh, so some things you might fail, but you got to get back up and keep pushing. And that's what it's about. And yo, I was watching the thing on TikTok, and it said that if you never failed at anything, it says because you never tried. You never tried. So if you ain't trying to be a man in the Lord, and you never failed, you're not a man in the Lord. Because with anything with success, you're gonna have failures, man. That's a part of the game. You're gonna have fall offs, you're gonna have things fall, you get back up. And you gotta keep it moving, you gotta keep it pushing. So if you ain't trying and you ain't failed, you never tried, man. Alright? That's what it means to be tried. Gold is tried to fire. Because when the fire burns, you get burnt. Oh shit. But you have to prevail through that. So let's read that again. This is Isaiah chapter 28, 16. It says, therefore, thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Power, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone. It says what? For a foundation, a stone. A stone is what? Hard. You gotta be hard in this truth, man. You can't be no sucker. You can't be no bitch ass nigga. In this truth, you have to be hard bodied. Alright, and I ain't saying be an asshole and all that. You have to be hard, man. Like the song from Kenny Rock, you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to fight. You gotta count your blessings, man. Are you sitting at the table, man? Alright? You gotta count your blessings. And when I'm saying count your blessings, that you know the truth and that you ain't fall out. But you see many come and many go, man. But you can't quit, man. That's the title. Don't quit. You cannot quit when it comes to this word, man. Alright? It says there, first going back to Isaiah chapter 28 and 16. It says, therefore thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Power, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone. Alright? That means it's tried. A precious cornerstone, And did not the Lord say he's going to make man like fine gold? And he's not talking about any man, all right? He's talking about that precious man. What makes a man precious? I'm talking about the Israelite man. What makes an Israelite man precious? He has the truth, 100% truth that was given to us by apostles. And not just have it, he believes on it. But you got so many men that come into this thing, they learn the truth and they learn it and they want to try to rule over men. That's the whole their mindset. All right, but this thing is deadly serious. Yo, you gotta treat this truth like a baby. When you got a newborn baby, you don't just throw it around everywhere. No, you rock it. You're very cautious with it. You nurture it. You do all those things, man. You don't treat it like a fucking tyrant, man. So this truth, that's what makes an Israelite man precious. He has 100% truth and he believes on it. And he acts on it. All right, by having that fear of Yahweh Hashem outside, by Shema Rakakodas, by going out here teaching, talking to brothers, and explaining. You know, but sometimes the spirit don't be on you to speak to a person, man. So you don't. You know, because you see their actions. All right. Read this again. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 16. It says, therefore, thus saith Yahweh Shema Shah Power, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste, man. So if you believe it, it says a sure stone. So if you got a sure foundation, like, yo, this is a sure thing, you know it's going to happen. So if you build your foundation on a sure stone, it's not going to crumble, man. All right, we're going to end it on this. Lord's willing, it was edifying. We're going to go to Psalms, chapter 11, and verse 3. All right. The book of Psalms, chapter 11, and verse 3. Matter of fact, let me start at verse 1. All right, you might read the whole thing. It's only 7 verses, so we're going to end on it, so that's a good way to end it. 7 is what? Completion. So this is Psalms 11 and 1. It says, in Yahweh Shah put I my trust. How say yet to my soul, flee as a bird to your mountain. And yo, how you say to flee as a bird to your mountain? So whenever you're going through trouble, what you do, you call on Yahweh Shah. You know we're in captivity. You know, we understand all that. And like for it's one of the curse was, and one of all things you have to go to your enemy. But still you don't turn to his wicked ways. And even going to your enemy, you still pray, Yahweh Shem Shine, Bashimar Chakodah, so everything's gonna turn out right. Alright? Because what Esau is the sword, and that's why he was set up, to see if how much you want to love the Lord. Because if you don't love him and you don't serve him like that, and you run to Esau, and you're going to turn into his wicked ways, man. You know? You're going to fall into that bullshit that Esau has. And you're going to hold on to it. You're going to love it. All right? But a man in the Lord, he's not going to fall into Esau's wicked ways. Why? Because he loves Yahweh Shem outside. By Shemar Chakadash. It says, for lo, the wicked bend their bow, they make ready their arrow upon the string, that they may privily shoot at the upright in the heart. See that? What I just said, man, they want to shoot at you. They want to bring you down. That's why when you go to them and one of all things, you have to pray to Yahweh Shem outside. By Shemar Chakadash. Why? Because he set them over you right now. For the wickedness of our forefathers, and we are our forefathers. So it's our wickedness what we did in our past lives, man. That's how deadly serious this thing is, man. All right. So you never play with the Lord. You ask the Lord for everything, man. When you wake up, the first thing that should come out your mouth is call Halan Yahweh Shem Shai, Shema Chakodash, the water for waking me up, man. That should be the first thought in your mind, man. You know, of course, when the flesh, sometimes you wake up, but yo, that should at least be one of the first thoughts in your mind. All right, you thank the Lord for everything. All right, it says, if the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do? So if the foundation, if your house was destroyed, what can the righteous do? You don't have no winds. But they say you don't got no winds in me, Casa. You don't got no winds in my house, man. So if the foundation of the righteous is destroyed, what can we do, man? How can we live, man? How can we survive? You know? And that's how I deal with banking. You know, they said don't put all your eggs in the one basket. Well, we're putting all our eggs on Yahweh Shem Shai by Shema Rachakodash to deliver us out of here. All right, because everything here is going to fail, man. You know, you come into this truth and you fall out, you go back into the world, you're going to fail, man. Because whatever you went back for, look at Lot's wife, man. Prime example. She went back, and what she did, she was made an example of, and she was turned to a pillar of salt till this day, and they actually found that chick, man. You know, they found that bitch, man. That pillar of salt, they found it. You know, so the Lord, in these times, everything is being revealed. You know? So you know that the Lord is not no joke. The way the Christians teach and this is that, they don't know what the hell they're talking about, man. They don't know what's going on. They're living in a slave doctrine, and they still trusting this devil to deliver them. You know, they're praying for this place to survive, man. But the Lord is against this place. So why would you pray for it to survive? Knowing that, like as the scriptures say, man, when you are coming to this truth, you know, when you backslide, that means you go back into the earth. You're going to get 7 demons more stronger than the first demon that was on you. So you're going to bug all the way the hell out, man. You know, you're going to bug all the way the hell out, and that's something that you do not want in your life, man. Trust me, man. You don't want that. All right. So it says, verse 4. It says, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is in his holy temple. Yahweh Shem Yahushua's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold, his eyelids try the children of men. So he's watching everything, man. His eyes try, because what his eyes doing is like, oh, let me see what he's doing in this situation. Like I say, observing. He's an observer. He's the greatest observer ever, man. He's the ultimate observer. Put you in this situation. Let me see how he's doing this. He already knows them, you know. But it's all for his entertainment, his purposes. You know, he might bring a man in that he knows, but this guy, I know he's not going to make it in this truth. Let me put him in here and put him on fire to take you out. That's the scary thing. And that's why you're supposed to fear the Lord so much, man. When you come into this knowledge, that's why King David was so great. Is so great, man. You know? Because he said, yo, he ain't want the Lord to take away the Holy Spirit from him. You know? He said, cast me not away. Remove not thy Holy Spirit from me. All right? You don't want this Holy Spirit to leave you, because I'm telling you, when it leaves you, you're dead, man. You are a dead body. You are the walking dead, and you went right back to your vomit, and you're back in this world, which this world is going to be destroyed, and that's a place you do not want to be in, man. I promise you that, man. I promise you that. When you see everything that's happening, why would you fall out now, seeing all the prophecies being fulfilled? That's how you know this is a spiritual thing, and the Lord can put you in and take you out. You know? He can put you in and take you out, man. That's scary. So you're supposed to fight, man. All right? Fight. All right? But it says, verse 5, it says, Yahweh Shem Yahushua trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth. Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and a horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. So you read things like that, and you digest it in your spirit, and you go back in the world, you's a crazy motherfucker, man. You's a crazy ass nigga. To read these words, know that they're true, and seeing things happen, and you go back, and if that don't scare you, you's a fearless motherfucker, man. And that fear, I'm telling you, man, the Lord gonna make your worst fear reality, man. You know? Let's read that again, man. Verse 6, it says, upon the wicked he shall rain snares, traps, fire and brimstone, that concentrated heat, those thermonuclear weapons, and a horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. So you got to drink all that, buddy. You know? Like that video, it was a video on a woman, right? I guess it was her birthday or something she was celebrating. And there was a dude put her head back and was just pouring liquor in her mouth. She was sipping like that, right? So she's sipping so much. Now at the end of the video, she was passed out. She had a dress on her. She was laid on the floor, covered in fucking shit, man. She shit on herself. You know, that's going to be the condition of you niggas that fall out this truth. You about to shit on yourself, pass out, and you're going to be destroyed, man. And if I'm not mistaken, they said that the woman checked out. She passed away. She's in the spirit world. You know, I don't know how true that is, but looking at that video, she was fucked up, man. You know, that's going to be the condition of a lot of you niggas that come here. I'm on fire and this. You know what I mean? I done seen, like, heard so many stories, man, and seen things in this truth. You know, when men falling out and they fell out, and some is in the spirit world now, man. Some is way worse than they are, but some of them's in this truth. You know, and they backslid, they slept with another man's wife, got jacked up in car accidents, man. Real bad, man. So the Lord is not playing, man. This truth is serious, man. And if you don't take it serious, you're gonna be dealt with, man. You know? You don't come in this thing getting prideful because the Lord wasn't prideful, man. The first spirit ever created, how about that? Washing the disciples' feet. God damn. You know? Wash the disciples' feet. The men that he came to minister to. And teach us. So we know this knowledge. And he put his life on the line for it. That's a man to be commended. You know? A lot of these niggas don't got the heart to do that. A lot of niggas in Israel was bitches. And they fraud and they faking. And you will be sought out, man. The Lord will seek you out and remove your ass from this thing, man. All right? Verse 7. It says, for the righteous, back in Psalm chapter 11, verse 7, it says, for the righteousness, for the righteous, Yahweh Shah loveth righteousness. His countenance doth behold the upright. Let's read that again. For the righteous, Yahweh Shah loveth righteousness. His countenance doeth behold the upright. So the Lord loves when you do right things. And what's the right thing? Follow him, man. Serve him. Don't fall out. All right. So Lord's willing. You know, this was edifying. You know, you got something out of it, man. And like the title says, don't quit. Don't never give up. All right. You come into this thing. You know, Sarai says, anything that you put your hands to do, you do it with all your might, man. All right. You come to serve the Lord, you serve with all your heart, mind, body, and soul. All right. So Lord's willing, this is edifying. So with that, I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harachapadash. Double honors to the apostle and others of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect. To the next lesson, I'm gonna sing the Waffle Bible Ball, Kwame Yasharala, Death to America. Shalom.